Yes.
going to presume that people here are the most capitalist or business focused people, but there's a reality to how wealth
Yeah.
and everything moves in our entire world. So when we talk about chaos and what is happening, you have to remember uh, the one thing business and the stock market does not like is uncertainty. The types of uncertainty, and it's not even uncertainty. They like new things. They like excitement, but they don't like uncertainty. And as I went over in my stream, and I know we've talked about kids gone over it, one of the most horrifying things that's happening right now for uncertainty is the Social Security Administration's continuous nightmare of being on the edge of shutting down. Because you have to understand, it's about 20% of all consumer spending comes from Social Security. So whatever consumer spending is every week, 20% Social Security. So if that's gone, and it's gone in without notice, or it happens suddenly, or even if they're going to say they're going to do it in 6 months, that nightmare is constant. But at least it's a thing. So this back and forth, I have to mention it because this is a thing that happened like now 9 minutes ago. This story is consistently developing, but Doge has been basically digging into and fucking with Social Security records. Like Sunday was saying, they're digging into stuff that if you
this just happened. You mean literally 9 minutes ago?
9 minutes ago. This is from 9 minutes ago. Like as I started looking up Social Security stuff as you were mentioning it, and I'm like, what the fuck? So Doge goes in and they go, well, this guy's dead, so they hit a button or whatever, and they pull back his fucking money from his bank account, and he's sitting there like, wait, what? And he
wasn't dead.
He wasn't dead. And so,
oh my God.
So a judge is like, oh wait, maybe these stupid moron Nazis are stupid moron Nazis. By the way, they are stupid moron Nazis, and they're not hackers or whatever the fuck. Like, fuck off. So these morons, maybe we should not allow them to have access to this. So the judge went in and went, hey, you're not allowed to access this sensitive stuff anymore. So the new head of the Social Security Administration said, you don't let them access it, I'm going to shut down everything, which is fucking insane. That happened, I think, earlier today. And then now they've pulled back. Like, this is how fucking when you talk about uncertainty, this story is it. So, oh no, wait. Acting Commissioner said Friday he will not shut down the agency in wake of a judge's order to halt access to the SSA's data by staff. The comments were a reversal from earlier news reports, which said that the Social Security's acting commissioner, Leland Tudyk, wanted to shut down SSA temporarily after a Maryland federal judge on Thursday issued a temporary restraining order to block Doge workers from accessing sensitive Social Security data. At the time, Tudyk said the judge's order was confusing and could apply to any SSA employees. He's full of shit. As it stands, I'll follow it exactly and terminate access by all SSA employees to our IT system, the report quoted him as saying. If you won't let Doge in, I'll shut it all down, is the most unhinged reply that you can have to that. And it shows how absolutely these people don't care about people dying. If Social Security goes out, within days, we will have dead old people, period. There's no side to that. If it goes on for 2 weeks, I went through the numbers. I did like a 3-hour stream, and I crunched numbers. I have sources, and it's painful and awful. Social Security collapsing would be the single most tragic thing to happen in American history. And I mean that across the board, including
here's the thing.
All the other stuff.
Let me tell you, if anyone's ever worked in retail, you'll know that one asshole who's really, really excited about catching shoplifters. Okay? Maybe if you're lucky, you don't. Let me read you Leland Tudyk's Wikipedia page.
Oh, good.
Leland Lee Tudyk is the acting commissioner of the Social Security Administration, appointed after Michelle King resigned. He was previously a senior advisor in SSA's Office of Program Integrity. He had previously worked in the Social Security's anti-fraud office as a management analyst and advisor. He was described by the Washington Post as an IT expert with a zeal for eliminating fraud. During the first few weeks of the second, this Social Security fraud. So when you're talking about like a zeal for, this is a person who gets his rocks off and feels powerful and feels pleasure in cutting people off because he hates them. Just to be clear, like when you're talking about a zeal for eliminating fraud, what? How about he was just good at catching fraud? Why would you describe it as a zeal? Why is he having an erection while he's doing this? During the first few weeks of the second Trump administration, he was put on administrative leave after he broke the agency chain of command to cooperate with Doge. He was also suspected of violating agency protocols and ethical standards of conduct. SSA's internal counsel suspected that Dudek had violated the strict information disclosure laws SSA uses to protect individuals' information. It's a fucking clown show. Like every this is like your government is being run by McDonald's Dwight Schrute. it's
I mean, it's and I posted. I want to kind of actually talk through it just slightly on this one,
please.
because the thing about Doge, and it's a consistent thing that they've been doing, is they come out with these crazy statements. If you remember, it was like $50 billion saved that they claimed that they had.
Yes.
There's a lovely tool, and I will also be posting it in chat, called Muskwatch Doge Tracker, doge.muskwatch.com. I just posted in there. And it's actually goes through and just tracks. So they have their claimed cuts, and then they have their itemized cuts, and then they have the actual verifiable canceled funding that actually exists. And the delta between the two is absolutely fucking stunning. The level with which these people lie and how they claw things back, and then they go through and they actually edit their old documents so it looks like they never said the thing. That's why you have to have the tracker, because they actually go back and edit those things. Parity of language says it's not going to collapse. Parity of language. The Social Security Administration literally said that they were going to shut things down. What are
just
you
shut
talking
down?
About? They said they were just going to shut it down. I want to turn it off and let the courts figure out how they want to run a federal agency, he said.
Money.
Oh,
just to be clear,
we got someone coming in.
A minor tragedy for the
Social Security
QVC
is getting
shopping
cut.
channel. People who like getting gift card numbers read over phone to unlock computers, commemorative coin merchants, Blue Chew, and I guess old people too.
Thank you very much, Eggle Hegel, again for the note. I've copied it for you, Cindy, so you can read it. It is accurate. It would be a minor tragedy for QVC. Again, destroying Social Security, I'm not even sure that's where I'm worried. If they just miss a paycheck, a single check, the knock-on effects from missing a single check and not catching back up, which they wouldn't, is itself catastrophic for our economy. So we're not even talking about like if Social Security ends, you're talking about actually the end of America. And I'm kind of like not there. If we're talking about like they fuck up a paycheck, like just one check out of all of those because of stuff, that's the end of like so much that it's hard to even understand.
You will have immediate mass unrest.
Yes.
Like immediate mass unrest. And not the kind of unrest where it's like, oh, they sat out for a few days, got bored, and then left. Like in some of the more tepid Black Lives Matter protests. I mean, these people are going to stay there because if they don't, they will die. They will go homeless. They will not eat. They will not get medication, and so on and so forth. In which case, many of which will actually in short order die.
And again,
like,
his response email, which is the thing that just came out 10 minutes ago. Like he literally was going to be doing this until 10 minutes ago, where he says, today the court issued guidance that the TRO related to Doge employees and Doge activities at the SSA. Therefore, I am not shutting down the agency. What the fuck?
Well, here's what's scary too. It's like, as the courts become more and more timid, which they will because they're being disregarded and they're being bullied, and as experts in every area of government are kicked out because they raise their hand and say, "Excuse me, I don't think this makes any sense." You're not going to have coming to Jesus moments where somebody who knows what the fuck they're talking about tells this person, "Hey, you do not cross this line," and then some asshole like Dudek, backs off. That won't happen. Things will just proceed.
It will be the case, and it's like someone in chat says, and when it happens, and if it happens, the knock-on effects are huge. It will affect everyone. There's no one that's not affected, at least in a minor or actually significant way. But MAGA people will not stop blaming. They won't like switch and turn on Trump. They'll turn on the banks or the Jews. Like we know the playbook. This is not a new thing for us to play with. We know that they will continue to be, unless there is an alternative path offered, which I believe we can do. And I believe it's an easy one. But unless we offer an alternative path for that anger to be funneled and placed, it will end up bad. It will end up bad for everybody.
I think it's kind of a given at this point, because the problem you have right now
Pretty
is you have
much.
an administration that is making itself immune to the short-term consequences of actions that would typically teach a naive administration what it needs to do to stay in power.
Yep.
They're plugging their ears and ignoring it and hoping that essentially Musk's money will save them. But it won't. And
No.
throughout all of this, like, their attitude is not going to be, oh, we need to wind stuff back. Their attitude is going to be, we're increasingly afraid of the people we're taking things from. And their instinctive response to people they are afraid of will be, we need to crack down. And
Yeah.
they've already expressed a desire to shoot protesters. Shoot them. These are going to be people who are going to be a lot, if you can imagine, a lot more angry and desperate than the craziest Black Lives Matter protests that you've seen.
Hi,
A happy thought.
Oh, I don't have a happy thought, but I have a secret to tell you.
No, it's about a happy thought. Hello?